Alex had spent the last 6 months on the edge of known space, stationed at Outpost Theta 9. The outpost was small, functional, and mostly empty, designed for research and observation rather than comfort. It floated quietly above a pale blue planet, one of the many that humans were studying for potential colonization. Alex had grown used to the monotony, the quiet hum of the life support systems, the distant twinkle of stars beyond the reinforced glass walls. He liked the peace, though loneliness had a way of creeping into the quiet corners of his mind. Most of the time, he was fine with it. He read, exercised, and worked on maintenance tasks. Occasionally, a supply shuttle would arrive bringing news from the galaxy, and he would speak with the visiting crew. But otherwise, Theta 9 was his world, and the stars were his companions. That evening, he had just finished repairing one of the outer sensors when the lights in his quarters flickered. Alex thought it was the station adjusting power levels. He sighed, hung his tools on the wall, and walked toward the small living area. He was ready to collapse onto his bed and watch the recorded feed of a human historical documentary. Something simple, something that reminded him of Earth. When he entered his quarters, he froze. There she was. A woman, or rather an alien woman, stood in the middle of his room. Her skin shimmered softly, pale and almost translucent under the lights. She was tall, graceful, with long limbs that seemed to flow with motion even while she stood still. Her eyes were large and luminous, colored in a way that Alex couldn't describe, a mix of amber and green that seemed to shift when she moved. She looked at him, and there was no fear, no hesitation, only confidence. Alex's mouth opened, then closed. Then he tried again. "Who are you?" he asked, keeping his voice steady, though he felt a tremor in his chest. "I am Lyra," she said, her voice smooth and musical, yet carrying an underlying strength. She smiled, a confident, self-assured smile. "And this," she gestured at his bed as if she had always belonged there, "is mine now." Alex blinked. His mind tried to catch up. "Yours? You just walked in. My quarters. That's not how things work here." Lyra tilted her head slightly, studying him as if evaluating whether he was worth her time. "In my world, claiming a space shows respect. It is not rude. It is trust. I am showing you trust, human." Alex rubbed the back of his neck. He had trained for alien encounters, for unexpected situations, but this was something else. "Trust? By sleeping in my bed?" Lyra chuckled, a soft sound that filled the small room. "It is not only sleep, it is rest. It is presence. I wish to share your space tonight." Alex took a deep breath, trying to force his mind into logic. "Share my space? Okay, but you can't just—" "I can," Lyra interrupted gently. "And I did, but I mean no harm, only companionship, observation, experience." Alex frowned. He had learned over the years that alien customs were not universal. Some aliens respected distance, others communicated differently, some in ways that humans found confusing or even alarming. He realized that perhaps Lyra was not here to threaten him, but to connect, in her own way. You're not dangerous?" he asked cautiously. Lyra shook her head. "No. I am curious, that is all. Your kind has fascinated me for cycles. I wish to meet one alone, in private." Alex swallowed hard, unsure whether to laugh, panic, or simply accept the strange situation. He decided on the latter, for now. "All right, you can stay, but, I need some time to adjust." Lyra inclined her head. "As you wish. I will be patient." For a few minutes, they stood in silence. Alex studied her, noticing details he had not seen before. The subtle patterns on her skin, the way her eyes reflected light differently than any humans, the graceful way she moved even without moving much. She was extraordinary. And yet, she was calm, friendly, approachable, even if her actions were wildly unconventional. Finally, he decided to speak. Why me? Out of all humans, why choose my room? Lyra's gaze softened, and she took a small step closer. Because you are human, and humans are strong in ways other beings are not. You have courage, curiosity, patience. You will understand. You will learn. You will survive. Alex felt a strange warmth in his chest. It was the first time anyone had ever spoken about humans in such a direct, positive way. He had been trained, educated, and even praised. But here was an alien from a distant star system declaring admiration for his kind. I appreciate that, he said quietly. Lyra's smile widened. Then we understand each other already. That is the beginning. As the night deepened, Alex prepared for sleep. He hesitated, then gestured toward the bed. You can take the bed. I'll sit over here. Lyra nodded, moving toward it with the same calm confidence she had shown when entering. She settled onto the bed not with laziness but with poise, as if the space had always been hers. Alex watched for a moment, then sat in the chair by the window, unable to tear his eyes away from the human-like serenity she radiated. Hours passed quietly. Alex observed her, noticing subtle expressions, the rise and fall of her breathing, the way her hands rested gently on the bed. There was no threat, no malice, only presence and calm confidence. He realized that in a strange way he felt safer knowing she was there. Then a faint alarm sounded from the main console. Alex sprang up, moving toward it instinctively. Lyra followed, moving with him, calm but alert. A small alien craft was approaching the outpost. It moved slowly, but its design was unfamiliar, unlike any known species in the surrounding sectors. Alex felt a surge of tension. Outpost Theta 9 was lightly defended, and any unexpected vessel could mean danger. "Stay behind me," Alex said, though he wasn't sure why he said it. Lyra could probably handle herself better than he could. She smiled again, unconcerned. "I am not afraid, but I will observe." Alex took a deep breath and activated the comm system. "Unknown vessel, this is Outpost Theta 9. Identify yourself." There was no immediate response. The craft drew closer, and a sense of unease settled over the room. Alex checked the defensive systems, though they were basic, meant to deter minor threats, not an advanced alien ship. Do you understand their technology?" he asked Lyra, glancing at her. "I understand partially," she said. "But your instincts, your quick decisions, that is your strength." "I will follow your lead." Alex felt a spark of pride mixed with surprise. Here was an alien, confident, knowledgeable, yet willing to let a human guide the situation. He realized that this was what humans had always done in the galaxy: adapt, survive, and find ways to excel even when outmatched. The ship paused at the outpost's perimeter, scanning. Lights flashed on the hull, revealing symbols and designs that Alex had never seen. He studied the readings, trying to decipher the intent. Suddenly, the ship emitted a pulse of energy toward the outpost. The lights flickered violently, and the room shook. Alex shouted, "Shields up!" and activated the defensive barriers, though he doubted they would hold long. Lyra stepped beside him, calm and focused. "You act wisely. Your kind is resilient." Together, they monitored the alien vessel. Alex's human ingenuity, improvising with limited resources, combined with Lyra's knowledge of alien systems. It was an odd partnership, yet it worked. The pulse ended. The ship hovered silently. Then, almost as suddenly as it arrived, it retreated, moving away from Theta 9. Alex exhaled deeply, relief flooding through him. Lyra turned to him, eyes bright. "You acted with courage and clarity. That is why I chose to come here. Humans, you are remarkable. Alex couldn't help but smile, shaking his head. Well, I guess that makes us even. You trust me to share your space, and I trust you to help me survive. Lyra's smile widened. Agreed. Tonight is the first of many nights, human. As he returned to his chair, exhausted but exhilarated, Alex realized something profound. In this vast galaxy, with alien customs and unexpected encounters, humans had a unique strength, not just in combat, but in ingenuity, courage, and moral clarity. Lyra's confidence had tested him, yes, but it had also reminded him why humans had thrived among the stars. And as he watched her settle on the bed, serene and confident, he understood that this unusual encounter was only the beginning. There would be challenges ahead, but for the first time in months, Alex felt a spark of excitement and purpose in the endless darkness of space. The night had settled over Outpost Theta 9 like a soft, silent blanket. The stars stretched endlessly beyond the reinforced glass, twinkling in patterns Alex had memorized long ago. Sleep had been impossible. Even as he sat in his chair, exhaustion pressed against him, but the adrenaline from the earlier encounter still lingered. Lyra remained on the bed, calm, serene, yet alert, as if she was reading the room, the station, and even him. Alex finally leaned back and sighed. "You really are something," he muttered. "I mean, most aliens wouldn't just come into a human's quarters like that. Most would, I don't know, warn, negotiate, or even attack." Lyra's smile was gentle. "Your kind does not always understand the gestures of others, but I judged you differently. I trust humans because they have heart, courage, and reasoning, and you have all three." Alex ran a hand through his hair, a small laugh escaping him. "I guess that makes me special then, or maybe just lucky." "You are both," Lyra said simply. "And in this galaxy, that combination is rare." Alex's mind wandered for a moment, imagining the countless planets, alien civilizations, and dangers lurking in the void. He had always known humans were resourceful and strong, but hearing it from someone like Lyra, someone who lived among those who viewed humans as primitive, it made him feel proud. A quiet pride, not arrogance, but the knowledge that human resilience truly had a place in the stars. The hours passed, punctuated by the occasional hum of the station's systems. Neither of them spoke much, yet neither were silent. There was a mutual understanding, a recognition of presence. Lyra observed the room, the instruments, the controls, occasionally asking questions about their purpose. Alex answered as best as he could, explaining human engineering and improvisation. Then, just before the artificial dawn simulated by the station's lights, the main console beeped again. A small alert appeared. An unidentified ship had re-entered the system, moving slowly toward the outpost. This time there was no subtle approach. It was deliberate and much closer. Alex's muscles tensed. "Not again," he muttered. "We just got rid of them." Lyra stood beside him, her movements smooth and quiet. "They have not left. They test. Or they are curious, or they are dangerous." Alex nodded. "Could be any of those. Let's prepare, just in case." Working quickly, Alex activated the station's defensive systems. Shields flickered online, laser turrets calibrated, and emergency protocols initiated. Lyra observed, her presence calm, offering suggestions on how to anticipate alien energy pulses. Even without touching the controls, she guided him, blending her alien intelligence with his human ingenuity. The ship hovered at the perimeter, its hull gleaming under the station lights. Alex studied the readings. It was unlike anything cataloged in the human or allied alien databases. It had an unfamiliar energy signature, and its movements were precise, almost calculated. Lyra leaned closer. I can interpret partially. Their weapons are energy-based, their intentions unclear. But you are human. Your instincts are sharp. Trust them. Alex swallowed hard. He had trained for moments like this, yet nothing could truly prepare a person for the reality of a real threat in space. All right, let's see what they want. The alien vessel pulsed again, sending a wave of energy toward the outpost. Alex reacted instantly, activating the shield systems and rerouting power. Sparks flew from the console as the shields absorbed most of the impact. A small section of the outer hull shimmered, but remained intact. Lyra watched quietly. You think quickly. That is why I chose you. Alex managed a brief smile. Good to know someone appreciates it. The vessel hovered for a moment, scanning, then moved closer. Alex could see faint markings on its hull, symbols that were unfamiliar, but patterns that indicated intelligence. This was not a random attack. It was testing, probing, learning. Lyra reached out and touched one of the sensors. I can help, but I need your direction. Humans have creativity that even advanced beings sometimes lack. Alex considered her words. All right, work with me. We'll combine what we know. For the next hour, they worked side by side. Alex monitored human systems, calculated energy redirections, and improvised defenses. Lyra analyzed alien signals, suggested countermeasures, and predicted potential maneuvers. Together, they created a synergy neither had expected. Finally, the alien vessel pulsed once more, then retreated slowly, as if satisfied with the display. Alex exhaled, relief flooding through him. He leaned back against the console, exhausted but exhilarated. Lyra turned to him, her luminous eyes softening. You have courage, patience, and cleverness. You're kind. You are remarkable. I am glad I came to you. Alex smiled, feeling a warmth that had nothing to do with the station's heating system. And I'm glad you came too. I don't think I would have managed that alone. For a moment they stood in silence, the calm after the storm settling over the room. The stars beyond the glass seemed brighter somehow, or perhaps it was just the knowledge that humans had once again proven their strength. Lyra finally sat back on the bed, the same serene poise as before. Now, human, you understand why I claimed your space. Trust, presence, and survival are intertwined. You have shown me that humans are worthy. Alex chuckled softly. I guess that makes your choice. Smart. She smiled, a small, knowing curve of her lips. It is not choice alone, it is understanding. And now we understand each other better. Over the next few days, their bond deepened. Lyra observed Alex's routines, learned about human habits, and occasionally joined him on maintenance and research tasks. She was confident, yet always respectful of boundaries. Alex, in turn, learned from her, discovering alien knowledge that even seasoned human scientists had never encountered. One afternoon, while repairing a sensor array outside the station, a minor technical glitch caused a small explosion. Alex was thrown back, stunned, and Lyra reacted instantly. She extended a hand, not just in help, but to stabilize the energy readings. Together, they prevented a catastrophic failure. Alex realized that in every crisis, human adaptability combined with Lyra's alien intelligence created a force greater than either alone. As they returned to the quarters, Alex finally asked, Why me, really? Out of all humans, why did you pick me? Lyra regarded him thoughtfully. Not for your strength alone, not for your intelligence alone, but for your heart, human. You face danger, uncertainty, and still act with fairness, caution, and courage. That is rare. That is why I chose you. Alex felt a sense of pride, tempered by humility. Humans had survived countless challenges in the galaxy. And here was proof. Someone from a distant star system recognized that value. The days turned into weeks. The outpost remained calm, and the earlier alien threat did not return. Yet, the bond between Alex and Lyra grew stronger. They shared knowledge, laughter, and quiet moments of observation. Alex no longer felt the sting of loneliness. He had found a companion who understood the value of human courage and creativity. One night, as they watched the stars from the observation deck, Alex turned to Lyra. "You know, when you first came in, I wasn't sure what to think. Now, I can't imagine this place without you." Lyra smiled, her eyes reflecting the endless galaxy. "And I cannot imagine my mission complete without understanding humans like you. You are not just survivors. You are remarkable." Alex laughed softly. "Well, I guess that makes us a good team then." She nodded. "A strong team. Humans and aliens together can achieve much. That is why I stay." As the artificial night cycle began to fade into simulated dawn, Alex realized something profound. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries, dangers, and civilizations far beyond his understanding. Yet even in that immensity, humans had a place, not just surviving but thriving. Their ingenuity, courage, and adaptability were not only respected but admired by other beings. Lyra's presence was a reminder of that fact, and in sharing his space, he had also shared the essence of what it meant to be human, resilient, inventive, and courageous. As the station hummed quietly around them, Alex felt a sense of purpose, a connection not just to Lyra, but to the vast legacy of humanity in the stars. The future was uncertain, yes, but for the first time in a long while, he faced it with confidence. He was not alone. And humans. Humans could rise to any challenge, no matter how alien or impossible it seemed. And with that thought, he finally allowed himself to rest, knowing that the galaxy was wide, full of challenges, and he was ready to meet them, side by side with Lyra, the alien who had walked into his room, and with confidence and trust, changed everything.